Alright, hey guys, it's Eric again from CA Technologies. I'm here with a little short video to show you guys the installation on our front quick disconnect sway bar end links. The link kits are very simple. They consist of a few parts. The first part being your actual sway bar end link itself. 1/2 inch chromoly heims on each end, stainless fasteners, billet 6061 aluminum link that have been anodized and laser etched. Long lasting, good strong finish. You'll have a hard time messing them up. The next component is the actual quick disconnect pin itself. So this pin is a all solid stainless washer style and a stainless nylon lock nut. The same thing with the other pin. The differences in between the two pins, something you need to be aware of, is the length of the shoulder here. So the shoulder, you see this one's very long, this one is short. The short one is for the control arm, the long one is for the sway bar. Make sure you don't get them confused. If you do, you'll quickly notice because one will tighten up and one will not. The vehicle we've got here is an XRS machine, and that's what this video pertains to, is the 72-inch models. We already have a video for the 64s, so if you have a 64-inch machine, you need to check that video out because a few things are slightly different. It's well worth looking at. So on this machine, I went back and bolted a stock link on it, so anyone with running stock links can see how to remove it and what exactly we do. It's really straightforward, nothing crazy at all. So on the stock links, we're going to be taking it off, and we're going to replace the link with the pins for the quick detach mechanism. Alright, so first thing is we want to grab your 18mm wrench, and that's what's needed to take the actual joint loose. So we'll grab a wrench. So it's an 18 on the ball and socket side and a 15 on the nut side. We'll take that out of there. Get that right out of the way. Right. So there's that part. Same thing on the bottom. The only thing different is you need to use a socket, and I usually use a deep well socket and a short extension. That makes it to where you can actually turn the nut easily. You have to get a long turn on it. So I believe that's out of there. So we got our link out, and for those of you who don't know, there's the factory link, just a small stamped out rod with ball joints on each end. So we've got that out of there. Make sure and remove the washer that's in the inside. If it stood up, sometimes it's still stood straight up in the hole and you can't get it. You can either get it with your fingernail, or you can take something and stick it through the back hole. Sometimes I just use the threaded end of the sway bar end link, and I just pop it through like that. It turns the washer up, and there it is right there. So we've got that out of the way. The next thing is to install the pins. Now the pins are what makes the whole entire kit. So the pins are very simple. They just this is your link that we showed a minute ago, and here's your pin. So once your pin is installed, you will basically grab the link just like this and pop it in, and it's completely installed. There it is. Really simple. I'll set this other one down, and it's actually a one-handed operation. If you want to remove them, you just press the mechanism down. You can see it right there. Press the mechanism down and push. And there it is. You just pop it right out. So let's get these links installed so you can actually see it on the machine. It doesn't matter which link you install first, top, bottom, doesn't matter. The links are very snug. They fit right in the sway bar. Slide your washer on. The next thing that'll go on is this nylon lock nut. What I tell everyone is for the locking mechanism, which is here on the pin itself, I tell everyone to rotate that forward where it's pointing here. And that makes it to where you can get to it really easily when the link's on there on the vehicle. So that'll take care of that. So go ahead and the pin has two machined 14mm flats on it so that you can hold it with a wrench. And that makes it easier to install. I'll show you those here in just a minute. On the other pin. And just like happened right there, so what I did was I let the wrench slip. I'll move that a little bit. I let the wrench slip whenever I was tightening this up. And so now the detent locking mechanism is facing up. Just make sure and rotate it forward. Make sure you keep track of that. If not, you'll need to loosen it up and rotate it once you're done. So there's the top pin attached. Mechanism where it needs to go. Next one is the bottom pin. Again, like we noted a minute ago, the bottom pin has a short shoulder. Just make sure you get those right. I always put the washer in first, stand it up. That way it makes it a little bit easier when you get your pin and you can kind of guide it in with your finger and get it over the threads of the pin, and it makes it go through a lot easier. The nut, I go ahead and put it in the socket sometimes, depending on what style of socket you have. You can fit it in there a little easier and it'll stay. Some deep well sockets will just slide straight to the bottom. That can be just a little bit tricky. Once you get it in and kind of get started with your finger, you can rotate the pin and get that nut started while you hold it with your other finger. And then there it is. Then we grab our same extension that we used earlier with a 16mm socket on it instead. And we get it ready to bolt back up. 14mm wrench on this one as well for the flat. And one thing that I like to do on the bottom is you might be able to see it there, but the locking mechanism, it always needs to point out on the bottom towards the wheel. You can have it point out or upwards, whatever you prefer really, but out towards the wheel always seems to work better. So once we get both pins tight, everything is ready to go there. The next comes the link. So when the link comes to you, it will be most likely like this. It'll just be straight. The ends will be loose, and that gives you room to make adjustments. So when we ship them out, the heims are run all the way in as far as they'll go, and so they'll need to be at a 90-degree angle from each other. So the first thing you'll need to do is, I always tell people it's easier to put the bottom in first. So I'll swing the sway bar up out of the way so you can see. Put the bottom in first and start it, okay? And you see it, you heard it snap just then. So it's really easy, it snaps right in, no problem. Then with the upper joint turned like this, you want to swing the sway bar down. And so when you swing it down, the fitment between the heim and the frame is tight, but they'll go. Once you once you get it on a few times, you'll see how easy it is to install. And so there's the top one. So once you get them installed, make sure that the joint's running parallel with what they're attached to. So that means the bottom heim will need to be running parallel with the top control arm. The upper heim will need to run in parallel with the sway bar, and that'll take care of that. So once you get that, just hold your heims down, tighten your jams nuts down with a wrench, make sure those are good and snug so those don't back out on you. When you're ready to detach them, so as you can see, they're in there. They're not going anywhere at all. You simply push the button on the pin and you slide the heim off. And you can do them together. I usually recommend two. Go ahead and push it past that one, push it past this one, and you just simply off and out of the way. Installation is like you've seen just a second ago, is right the opposite. The key to making it work correctly is to make sure and get the good adjustment, the best adjustment you can. Make sure don't force it. If it feels like it just doesn't want to slide on good from side to side, you know, don't really force it. You'll scar the pins up and it'll make it worse for later. So that'll be easy. But you can see as I started on the bottom right there, you can just simply grab it up and you'll hear it click, and it's locked in. Same thing on the top. So started on the top one, click, and they're in. So, you know, you can, once you get these adjusted properly and they're working for you, you know how to, you know, move them and what to watch out for. It's as simple as this, and you can be on your way. Put it in the glove box, put it in your storage box, whatever you need, and it's stowed up out of the way. Once you do this on the RS or the 72-inch machines rather, you can leave one link connected and one disconnected if you like. If it's easier for you, just take one loose. If you want to take them both loose, that's fine. When you take both of them loose, you'll be able to swing the sway bar up like this. Now, one of the things we learned about the adjustability of the machines, the heims, is some sway bars are bent. Well, I've actually got a bent one here that you're looking in the video. And we've looked at several of them, and some of them we've seen various levels of ones being bent. Some are really bad, some are not so bad. So the adjustability in the heims, you may need to adjust yours a little bit more, and that's okay. Once you get them adjusted right and get them locked down, it's no big deal. And like I said, just to show it again, you know, you can see it here. Quick detach, and there it is there. You get it lined up, and there it is, no problem. Once you, it's all about figuring out where it's at, getting everything adjusted right, and it should just go well. Again, this is Eric with CA Technologies. It is www.catechusa.com. If you need anything whatsoever, have any questions, feel free to give us a call, shoot us an email. We're on Facebook as well quite often, and we'll do everything we can to answer any and all questions. All right, thanks for watching the video.